Hi, Joan Erickson here. For the last 17 years, I have been a full-time faculty in the math department at SUNY Delhi, which is located in upstate New York.
How to study to learn. First, let me present a question. Do you have a game plan when you study? Until you know how to make studying work for you, you can't possibly do a good job at learning. Let's get started. I also see students showing ineffective studying behaviors that don't get them very far. One, they can't tell me what the big overall reason is for the chapter that we're doing. Two, they don't know what calculation skills they need to master. In other words, they passively copy down the lecture examples without thinking why the calculation confirms the concept. For example, in quadratic formula, the b squared minus 4ac, the discriminant, will predict if the graph intersects with the real axis. And if so, how many times? So they don't make the connection between the outcome of the discriminant and that its prediction that whether you have imaginary roots or real roots. Three, to the passive learners, they study math in broken segments. How to simplify square roots with imaginary numbers has little to do with the graph. Four, I hear this one a lot. Students with fragmented studying without conceptual thinking often feel overwhelmed before the exam because they don't know how the concepts are connected and sequenced. Five, this is the second most frequent comment I hear. Oh, that's what this question is asking, or due to the lack of practice or conceptual connection, some students misunderstand and misperform the problem solving steps on the test to the point that it is almost as if they have never seen this kind of questions before. So here is how to reduce or completely beat the feeling that you are not good at learning math. Much of it is based on self-regulated learning theories. That's right. You are your own boss when it comes to math learning. Most of the strong students know how to study because they have already learned how to learn. With some self-directing and self-planning, you can too learn how to study efficiently and fruitfully. Here I have highlighted the actionable words for you. One, ask yourself honestly what parts of the new concept or skills you are not getting. Be specific. Write them down, bullet by bullet, and circle the unclear things in your notes and homework. Pinpoint the part where the breakdown is. Two, with each of the things you circle, what learning compensations can you use to beef up your understanding? More practice problems? If the teacher's explanation is not convincing, can you compose an explanation in your own words? Three, with each of the things explained and squared away, can you look back at this entire study session and say, yep, now I know why that equation is important. And I can think of several problems using this equation. And I recognize the solving patterns because they only apply to this or that kind of graph. If I see this question again on the final exam, I know for sure I know how to use this equation correctly. So remember, studying is not just passively looking at your class notes while you send text messages on your phone. Active studying is an intellectual process that deeply engages your focus and mental facilities. And studying comes with a self-directed agenda. You have to determine what you're not yet good at, what your teacher expects you to learn, and what realistic efforts it requires for you to get the new knowledge down good. I summarize it as the following. A, ask yourself honestly what you need to work on. Don't just breeze over the details. Don't underestimate the difficulty level of the topic. B, beat the learning challenge with your best effort. Memorization is not the best way to learn. Spend the efforts to investigate what the textbook says and how the teacher explained it in class. Seek alternative explanations and extra practice until you know you've got it. C, if your studying is effective, you should feel confident, competent, and comfortable with the topic. You can see how this topic is connected to the previous chapters in the course, and you know what type of questions to expect on the test. You've got this down so good, you can explain it smoothly to your classmates. If you can achieve the ABC in self-regulated learning, you know you have mastered the art of studying.
And remember to be a self-regulated learner. No one understands your learning progress better than you. I wish you happy learning.